Testing. All right, thanks for coming down. All right, I hope all of you have already scanned in the community code, so that's where I will disseminate the materials are already there. All right, okay. I think we will start now. Okay, I hope you all know why you are here. Do you all know why you're here? What's the event? Okay, so thank you for coming down. So today, right, we are going to do this event is actually a follow-up from last week. Last week I did some is it last week? 2 weeks ago? I did some fireside chat on the agency, the challenges and using AI. So today is really a follow-up, but I thought that instead of just talking in brief, I actually collated quite a fair bit of things from my team. So, and I wanted to share it with all of you. Together with Alex, so think of it as a co-hosting, although I'll be doing a lot of the talking today, all right? Before I go on, maybe I just do a very quick one round, just go around and maybe just introduce yourself a little bit before I introduce myself. Just the name, company, or role, and are you using a lot of GenAI now? And what do you hope to get out of this session? Maybe we will start from gentlemen. Hello. Hi.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm Charles. I'm an advisor consultant with Robot Consulting. I'm just curious to learn more about this. I'm going to start studying for a master degree, acceptable master degree in AI.
Oh, where is it from?
NTU.
NTU. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. Nice.
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is William. I'm an insurance broker specializing in cyber and tech, and I actually insure for GenAI. Yeah, so what I hope to get from is to learn more about the GenAI space, what are the new up-and-coming stuff that is available in the market, so that I can also advise my clients accordingly.
So you use a lot of GenAI yourself?
I insure a lot of GenAI.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Paulina. I'm a marketing executive at Tilt Creative Agency. I'm using GenAI quite regularly, like just ChatGPT. And what I want to learn from this session is how to write better prompts.
Thank you.
Sure. My name is Vitaly. I work for SoMin and SoMonitor company. I'm also entrepreneur living in Singapore for more than 12 years. And I'm using GenAI in many different instances, but most importantly, I want to see you as an agency, how you're using it, because I'm quite curious to know what's your best practices.
That's too serious. Thanks.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isaac. I'm the owner of the One Post company, and also our company also cover the delivery service into campus and industry park. So basically, the reason I'm here is I want to learn more about how GenAI can impact the marketing side, because currently I think this part in our company is still quite and personally I think a lot of improvements need to do. So that's why the reason I'm here. And I'll try to learn more about this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm from Liberty Tech Private Limited. I'm here with my colleague. So I'm actually doing ops. So I have totally no idea what's GenAI. So I'm here to understand more about it.
Hi, I'm UK. The same company with Caroline here from Liberty Tech. So I'm just the manager, and most of the time I'm in charge of marketing. And so hopefully I can find out how I can leverage more on GenAI to ease our marketing load. So currently how I use AI most often now is probably in Canva. They have the magic erase and magic stuff. So if you call it AI, yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Raymond here. So I'm actually I do freelance copywriting. I'm also doing branding. So I do use a lot of GenAI in the form of ChatGPT. I use Bing to generate images. Still really, getting to improve in doing the prompting, okay, to get better output. So what do I hope to get out of this session is actually kind of very curious, especially coming from an agency owner perspective, how they actually use, how they actually incorporate AI together with marketing. Yeah.
Thanks, Raymond. One more. Okay. Last but not least.
My name is Steve. I work with a company called Spark. We are into software and hardware for autonomous vehicles. So we are doing quite a bit of B2B content generation. So I'm here to understand how can we generate content automatically without too much effort, but personalized. So once we feed in the algorithm, so it's personalized for that particular supplier or that particular person who is buying from us. So the content keeps on getting generated automatically, but personalized, basis the requirements.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, thank you. I didn't miss out anything, right? Okay, Alex, do you want to introduce yourself? Yeah, he's the guy you should ask for any SoMonitor queries.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm the CEO of a company called SoMonitor, which is under SoMin company group. We provide Hendry with all their software accesses, different platforms he can use. He will be playing with around. We help him to organize these events, and we are trying to advocate as much as we can the GenAI movement in Singapore. We think that Singapore is doing a very good job in spinning up GenAI sandbox program, subsidizing agencies, adding it into PSG, making an AI year. So we just feel that's really great because agencies and companies do a lot of manual stuff. So we thought why don't we spin off these events? Why don't we just give up our platform to those in needs of this kind of tech so that we can help the Singapore to move faster with the wave together and be the leader of Asia, at least in this moment. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Okay, let's go on, all right? Thanks. Once again, thank you for coming. Now it's already already 5+, right? You're all ready to go home, right? So thank you for really taking an effort to really just come in to hear this agency owner sprout something, yeah, all right? Okay. Okay, so just a quick one, all right? I'm just going to talk, not going to talk so much about myself. For some of you who know me, I'm actually one of the partners inside this Neo 360. So we have a digital performance agency, yeah. So we have been around for slightly more than 10 years. I'm one of those who started 10 years ago. So it's been quite an interesting ride. Seen through, because before that I was already doing marketing work. So I've seen a lot of changes across the years, from non-AI, from Meta being Facebook and not Meta, that period of time. So there's been a lot of change, all right? So I also co-founder of Hackology.com. So this is actually the vehicle that I use to do all this sharing, mentoring, consulting. So sometimes I do pick up some clients to work on specific basis, just to maybe even could be branding, storytelling, AI related stuff. Just an interesting thing is that I'm actually a computer science grad, yeah. So I have a master's there, but I'm also a cellist. So I do a lot of music at the side. But I started really in IT. I grew up as a lecturer in IT actually. So I spent almost a decade teaching students, doing some industry research. But I kicked myself out of the cushy job. It was a very cushy job, really, really very cushy. Yeah. Sometimes I'm still kicking myself, even now. Okay. So it was about 2010. Yeah, I kicked myself out. Yeah, then decided to explore new frontiers. I'm a Trekkie, so I like to go where no one has gone before, right? I fumbled around for a few years doing marketing related stuff, and I actually found my wings since 2010. So I was helping people. Of course, I have As an agency, we have clients that we help on a regular basis. SME, I must say, a lot of them are SME, and I think across the last 10 years, I think almost every vertical I've done some work with, all right? B2B, B2C. So some pictures, just to make it less boring. So you can see, so you know, when we first started 9 years ago, it was just a property consultants company. So we actually hold a room inside that office. So that's how small we started. Started 2 person with a remote team. So just a quick one. Across the years, we built a team. We have a remote team, of course, yeah. And I grew and grew. It's with our family members. This is the second office. Yeah, we do hold some training in Singapore as well over the years. This is in Manila. This is the later part now, where we actually have team leaders as well. So instead of just being very flat, one singular layer, we have team leads and we have client service, which is why I can stand here and talk, right? Because before that, I had to do all the client service thing. And yeah, so this is the Singapore team at large. Okay, so we do a lot of account strategy. So Shay is my partner. We've been with each other for like 10 years. So yeah, he knows all my quirks and I know all his bad habits. All right, okay, let's go. Okay, so what's the agenda today? I'm going to really just, the introduction is over. So I'm going to share a little bit about the GenAI journey that the agency has gone through over the last 2 years, because it's so new, right? And then we're going to talk about some foundational ideas that the agency uses. So it's something I tell them. I actually tell them, I made some parameters or say certain things you should do and some ideas that whatever you can explore on your own, but you should have certain things in mind. Then I'll talk about actual implications and applications in Neo 360 itself. So if you join the community, there will be a file there. That file contains a lot of prompts and some of the things that are really used by us. So they are not toys, so we actually use those. And I'm going to end with SoMonitor applications, which is what you're here for. It's a great tool. We actually use it for some of our clients. We have, I think, half of our clients on it, at least the big ones. And we are using it to monitor their competitors on their behalf. Okay, so GenAI, okay? Everything starts from nothing, all right? That's very important because now we are moving in such a big space, right? So how did we start? We actually started in January, Feb of 2023. So bear in mind that, OpenAI ChatGPT was launched in somewhere about late November. When it started, suddenly they announced it and everyone was like having holiday mode. So obviously it's December time, right? And I don't care about it. I went for my holiday. So it's only in January, Feb that I start, thinking about it. And a few of us, I would say that initially the adopters are very uneven. In every corporate, every company, there are people who are just a little bit more forward. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. There are some people who are always thinking ahead and are a little bit more engaged in trying out new things. So we actually have some early adopters. Thankfully, some of my leads are quite early adopters. And actually, we face a little bit of uncertainty with the content team because we used to have 4 content writers, 5, and maybe 1, 2 freelancers. As a point in fact, now we have 2, with a bigger group of freelancers. So it has actually impacted our creative team to a certain extent. We still have our designers. Okay, so the copywriters are one group. There's also the designers, the people who do all the video editing. They're still there, but it has definitely made a difference, for better or for worse. We have a lot more people coming in to use it in later part of 2023, okay, not 2024. That's the time, right, when you suddenly see that everyone in Meta everyone is selling some prompt packages. I have 20 prompts, I have 100 prompts on marketing, tons of things, so there's a lot of noise. Okay, everyone is an expert because they are prompted. So they say, oh, you know, I have this secret 100 prompts, I'm going to sell it to you for $10, something like that. So this year, we actually have a meeting with the team leads and most of the staff because of 10th anniversary, and we actually had the AI day. We actually institute an AI day where we only talk about AI stuff. So that's how we push our own team forward, by making sure that we are always talking about it, and we actually almost like sometimes we mandate that certain things have to be done, and I'm in the forefront of creating new ways of working with it in the agency. Okay, so some quick foundational ideas, all right? Okay, so you have a question, just come and ask me, all right? So you already know by now that knowledge of ChatGPT, right, it stops at September 2021. Okay, but they launched this browsing tool, right? This browsing tool was very interesting. This allows them to, you know, ChatGPT to actually go to the wide web, right, and actually maybe almost act like a user who Googles things, all right? But I want to share a little bit about its limitations, all right? It doesn't really do some things properly, this browsing tool. So at this moment, so that's why we don't do the things that, we don't use it all the time. So this is just to give you a quick overview of how things have progressed very quickly over time. So what's the first idea? The first idea is this, all right? So, you know, it's an open system, right? If you use an open system like ChatGPT, and you sign NDAs with clients, so sometimes, right, I always have this question, you know, will I leak information? So I do, because of this, I do consciously ask the team to do two things. One is either you use a temporary chat, which they have now, or at least, right, try not to use the settings, right, to make sure that they don't use it for training purposes. That's all. Okay. Of course, they say that it's going to be there, but I just feel that it's better not to have it being there to be used for part of their training purposes. Especially later, we are going to be uploading analytics reports, all these things. So just to be safe, yeah, I mean, it's good not to. This is a good practice. I think for us, it's foundational. Idea number two is that we will always try to provide more contextual information to ChatGPT. Okay, I use ChatGPT as an example. We use others as well, right? Because I call it, some people call it context, better grounding. Okay, so basically it's essentially giving better references to relevant knowledge for ChatGPT to work with. It's very important because hallucination is not bad, okay, by itself. Why I think it's not bad? Because actually, you know, the way that it's built it's meant to be a bit creative. That's the whole idea of this kind of algorithms, right? It's supposed to be able to have some probabilistic way, and so this creativity isn't inherently bad if you are using it for certain purposes. But because you're using it, let's say for us, we're using it for actual client work, right? We have to be very careful. We have to make sure that sometimes we have to feed it. We really have to treat it like a kid for now, to feed it with information that will ground the at least that context of that chat itself. I'll give you an example. If you see here, Kaleidoscope is a creative agency. So can you tell me more about the company known as Kaleidoscope based in Singapore? They say it's a creative agency. This is absolutely wrong, 100% wrong. Everything here is I don't know where he got it from. Seriously, it's totally wrong. I know because this is my client. He's my good friend now. Yeah, so I can use it. So that is why. So in this case, right, you can do something like this. You know, your output is incorrect. Can you reproduce it by referencing the web using a browsing tool and searching for Kaleidoscope Singapore? So it's almost like telling, can you please Google? You know what I mean? Like nowadays, sometimes I tell, hey, please Google. So this is actually me telling him how to please Google. So he searched 5 sites. Then finally, this is what he came up with. This is a lot more accurate. Okay, so this is what I mean by hallucination and contextualizing. If not, right, it can really go very, very far off, right? But thankfully, because we know our clients, right, so some of these things can be checked, right? Okay. Okay, I just want to be clear that the browsing tool, right, is really them going and executing the query. It cannot go to, basically it cannot go to your website and say, you cannot say, please go to the website with your browsing tool and extract every single text out of it. You cannot do that. Or it's being trained not to do that. Okay, that would be a better word. Right, it's being trained not. So you cannot like just go to say, hey, I want to extract all the every single word from this website, your competitor website. You can't really do that at the moment. All right. Okay, there's some ethical constraints, and then this one you can read on your own. All right. All right. So what's the third idea? The third idea is this. All right. Every team member must use his personal expertise, right, to evaluate the output. So this is something that I caught because I've actually caught some team member being what they call it laziness. Okay. It's really just a safeguard. It's very hard because if they use it, if they get addicted to it, right, sometimes they will take a shortcut and they think that it's, oh, okay, I can do it so fast, I can go and rest and watch my Netflix for 30 minutes. Because this one takes 30 minutes takes 2 hours for me to write the blog. I finish it in half an hour. Let me quickly just get it done. All right, so this laziness, complacency, it was good last time, so it should be fine. Yeah. And critical thinking, I think this thing is sorely lacking nowadays in general. But with ChatGPT, it has sometimes made the situation even worse. People start, I just prompt it, and even their prompts are also a little bit like, it's very brief. So the challenge I find, if you ask me what is the biggest challenge in the agency, is that I was actually making calls. I had Zoom calls with some of them. I say, how do you prompt? I actually got them to show me, months ago. I realized that the quality of that person, right, really defines the quality of the output. Seriously, there will be people who will be just asking, can you generate this 2-liner and expect things to be great? That's the main challenge, all right? That the adoption is not very systematic, and those is not proceduralized. Okay, so let me move quickly on, okay? Okay, so how do we use GenAI here? So I'm going to go through a few real examples. It's actually in the document inside that community chat group. So these general applications at Neo 360, I'm going to go through, CS is client service, SEO, SEM, and social media marketing. So this is search engine marketing, and this is search engine optimization, all right? So I'm going to share these 4 big areas, maybe parts of it, so you know how we actually approach it from different parts. Okay, CS, I'll start with the very simple one, okay? So client service, they use it mainly for note taking. They don't only use ChatGPT, they use other tools. They use Streak more to track it's not really AI related, it's just to check whether people are opening up the emails. They use Phantom just to keep track of the calls, okay, to summarize the calls. And okay, because a lot of my client service are not based in Singapore, they are actually Filipinos. They are good in English, but it's not good enough at some point. So they actually need help to really summarize their insights. That means the team, the media buyers, there are other people who produces the insights, right? But they need to summarize and communicate to the client. But you cannot throw everything because the client will be confused. So you need to make it simpler to understand, and that's what they do, right? They use ChatGPT to help them to go do this. All right, so this is a good example from client service, just to get everyone warm up, all right? Okay, next. Okay, so for SEO itself, this is very basic. Okay, this is something very basic. So in SEO, you need to actually do titles and description for every page. So we actually use it to feed. This is, do you all know what tool is this? Yes, correct, Perplexity. So this is Perplexity. So they actually use Perplexity to create a meta title and description. You don't see, what you don't see here is that actually, the team has actually fed it with some context information. It's uploaded some documents. All right, yeah, go ahead.
Could you please tell us more about this tool, Perplexity? How is it different from ChatGPT?
Okay, so we use a few things, all right? So there's ChatGPT, there's Perplexity, and there is also Claude. Okay, Claude is very popular also. Okay, I did ask them why did they use Perplexity. They said actually they compare the outputs sometimes. You see, they generally we have all the tools subscribed, right? We will actually use some of them, and we realize that for certain purposes, right, some of the models, right, are actually not a lot superior, but just a little bit more, a bit better based on the output. I'll give you an example. I use Claude for long form content because I've actually side by side generated both with the same thing. You realize that actually I prefer Claude's output better because of the little bit of rigor. So I think it's, but in this case for SEO, right, I don't think the difference will be that great, seriously, yeah. But that's some of them because they have different models. I think Alex will know better, right? So they actually produce quite different complexity in terms of output as well. All right, to me, ChatGPT is a good all-rounder. It's like you can do everything. You know, it's like you ask everything, and it's quite well featured. Okay, it has some good features. Claude is very like a bit thinker, a bit like more deeper research that kind. So the output that comes, well, is a little bit best suited for blogs that needs a little bit more bites in the content. Yeah.
Actually, so Claude is by a company called Anthropic.
Yes, that's right.
And they are a breakout team of ChatGPT, OpenAI.
Yeah.
Right. So the way they have trained Claude is a much better way, and it's more on the latest data. And there was this test done between OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, the Google one. And Claude came out to be at the top in terms of various parameters.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes,
More
yes, yes.
accurate also, yeah.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the usage.
So that's what happened. So it's meant to be a bit more rigorous, that's why it's called, right? But I find ChatGPT is still very good, well all round. Yeah, this guy is like ChatGPT is like a all-rounded athlete. I call it whereas maybe Claude is like very for people who really want some serious stuff done for certain things. I use it for solving math questions for my kids. Yeah. I need help. All right, okay, so yeah. Topic cluster is also another super important thing that SEO people do because we are still writing content and ranking for topics. All right, so for example, so this is a prompt. The prompt is, what you can see is here. But what you did not see is that we have the team has actually contextualized it by uploading some information about the client plus the blog outline. Okay, so you see there's already a pillar page that's being given, and there's also target keyword. So they actually feed some of the things already. So it's not like totally just a prompt just like this. All right, okay, it's not going to work that way. So what we are going to look out for is let me see. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Okay. One thing to note is this. All right. Our writers, right, used to be the one-stop provider of this service. So in the past, I'll just share with you what changed in the agency. So in the past, the SEO person would be, hey, I need to do a topic cluster for this topic, one word, and the content writer actually does research and then comes up with all this manually by themselves. So this now has been taken over by the SEO people. See how that's why you see my content team has sort of shrunk, because the SEO specialists actually have better context of what they need, because they've been reading all the Google algorithms, right? So they know what kind of content they can access it better. So this work has sort of moved from the content writers to design all the blogs and the outline to the SEO specialists as well. Very important change. All right. Okay. So how do I do this? So this is just to generate the ideas for the topic clusters. Yeah, as I mentioned, right, the content will do everything based on the topic title. But now, right, it's done by the SEO team itself. Right? Okay, this one is a bit complicated. All right, I use this, right, because I want to show that different teams have different approaches to it, even within our team. So this is for those who are not aware, SEM is search engine marketing, basically Google Ads. So I'm not going to make you like your nose bleed by reading everything, but I just want to tell you what this is. So basically, right, it's actually inside that sheet that I gave. Okay, it's inside the WhatsApp group. You know, that document itself, I actually included all the prompts. So you're going to see it there. All right. So this is actually all the copywriting formulas that's being gathered together. All right. So it's just saying that, oh, you are the copywriting assistant. Okay, you are supposed to analyze your sales copy. So the prompt one is basically just to state its purpose. So you're going to see this thing. I'm not going to go through this. So basically after this, right, in prompt, after telling it that, hey, you know, you need to use all these copywriting formulas, one huge chunk, and you're going to try to generate a copy for this brand, okay, and you need to highlight who the customer avatar is, basically the buyer persona, what their belief system, and then you come up with some output, right? And from then on, right, you're going to write some sales copy for Google Ads, and you're going to format it like so, yeah. And there are some rules here. Okay, so this is done by my general manager. She's a very techie person, so she likes to do this type of things to test, which is why I appreciate her. It may not be the best way to do it, but I'm just showing you that there are different approaches by which you can approach this process itself for your own self. Okay, all this is inside that piece of notes. That's why don't worry, you don't have to copy anything. Okay, this is my pet, the thing I like to do. I do it myself. So this is social media marketing. So in this case, right, we are talking about ad copy. So what do I do for ad copy? So grounding, once again, very important to improve response. I actually have a method called Cora. So basically, there are 4 elements. One is context, which includes your grounding, your objective, your requirements, and the answer or the structure. Okay. So as you can see on the right, this thing here is being fed in the PDF. So I have 2 PDF. One is this is a ISS, okay, Singapore ISS, Institute of System Science. They market courses, okay, to adults. So you realize, right? It cannot reproduce it if you ask it to use the browsing tool. But if you actually upload it, this is actually a PDF version of the page, and you actually ask it to read, right, and reproduce it. It can reproduce it word for word here. So I put a bit here, right, to show you that of course a lot longer, but I'll just show you the first part. So you can reproduce every single thing and sort of load it and say, almost like he's reading it, I say, and you'll come up with a summary at the end to tell you what it is about. Okay? So after that, there is 4 elements of the.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between uploading the PDF and reproducing it inside there and just putting a URL to scrap the web page? Would it be a meeting 7.6? Would it be?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't scrap the thing. That's the problem. So what it does, right? It uses a browsing tool, right? So you go to there, you will just browse, and you will go. It does visit the page, but it will just do an auto summarize. It does not do a immediate word for word, which I don't need. I need details. So that's why this method is chosen. It's because of that. You can try it. You can try using it. Say it will not give you back. Right? You can tell it, oh, please use a browsing tool. Go to this page. You can even feed the URL to it, right? And say I want this, but it will just give you a summary. I just need to be sure that it reads every single word. And the only way that I can be sure is that it regurgitates it to me like a kid, telling me every single word, every single date there. So imagine a course, right, has a lot of details, like dates where it's running and all these things. It's not just words. It has dates, schedules, a lot of facts that are inside, right? Right, so this is, I will have a context. This is also inside that document. So I'll tell it, oh, please, what does it mean? Okay, what does it mean? So and I also want it to also reference popular copywriting techniques. Oh, there's one thing I realize now. In the earlier days, right, like you have to specify the different copywriting techniques. But in general, I find that now it's actually quite good at finding all this information. It doesn't need that kind of input anymore. So the model definitely has improved. It's not the same as ChatGPT 3.0 or earlier, 3.5, all right? Okay, there's objective. Objective is very important. It's like their task. You have to craft 3 persuasive ad copies for the Facebook platform. Okay, and you give them some parameters, all right? Okay, and your requirements, right? These requirements is actually, right, in many cases in the agency, sometimes it's the client requirements. Maybe the clients say that, hey, this is the, for example, as I acquire, each ad copy must mention the next intake that is coming up for the course. You want the ad copy to contain a mention that the next run is coming when, all right? And then you come up with a structure. The structure is basically telling them, please come out in this format. Okay, you can approach title, headline 1, headline 2, headline 3, and you must give me a rationale. Just want to know what is thinking. Okay, and explain why you think the ad copy is well written and persuasive. So this is the format. Okay.
Hey Henry, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, because let's say you are producing multiple.
Yeah.
Let's say you are producing multiple. You're working multiple. How to say projects with the client, right? Multiple meaning you probably you do one project 6 months ago, 6 months later you took on another similar multi-media marketing post. Based on the prompt here, how do you ensure consistency in terms of the brand voice, that the AI generate that actually is consistent throughout?
We mean for the past, okay. Let me just tell you what I would do. Basically, I would feed it with the past. So you want it to do the past, right? You actually feed the content that you did, a sample, a good sample. You say, this is the style. Okay, I need it to follow the kind of tonality, the kind of voicing. It should be able to do that quite well. So you do have to feed, because you see, we are using a generalized tool, right? We are not like creating a specific tool for your agency. I don't have the resources. I'll tell you truthfully, I don't have the resources to like Alex. Alex already have some servers running around, right? And then he can ground, he can train the data. I can bring all my clients' information and train the entire until it's my own ChatGPT. Outside, but I don't have the resources. So the best way is to ground it. So it's the same thing with grounding. What I feel is that you should still feed it with some idea of either you can tell it using in your own words what the style or tonality is, or you have to give it examples. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so let's come back to this, all right? So remember, this ad copy must mention the next intake that's coming up. So this is the output. Okay, I have 3. Oh, what's interesting is that I actually asked for 3 different styles. First copy is using IDA framework, the attention, interest, it's a copywriting technique, right? The second ad copy should be a storytelling based on the Spotify brand because it was mentioned in the course page in the video. A third ad copy should be based on your approach, which you think is best suited. So I gave it like a free form. Okay, you just do what you want. Okay. Okay. And so this is the second one. I'm just showing one of the output, which is the storytelling approach. Okay, I leave you to decide whether it's good enough as ad copy. But I can tell you that this ad copy was approved by the client and running. So, okay, I haven't gotten the results yet, so we shall see. I just want to point out that you see this is the course page itself. Do you see that there is a date? The next intake is 23rd October. So by feeding it, right, it's able to go in and say our upcoming intake starts on 23rd October 2024. Do you see? That's how interesting it is. That's why you need to ground the thing, because without it, I cannot do this. Okay, so grounding is quite useful for us now. Because of it, right, I can actually reference facts inside. Of course, you know, I will still check, but at least, right, you know that it's not hallucinating some dates or it's not doing some crazy shit, and it's like it actually can, you know, so this is actually the page. This is the example of that PDF page. So it reads everything here, right? It's quite amazing if you think about it, right? Because a human might even miss it out. You know, my team might actually take, you know, this as the first date. Okay, he might even miss out this day. He might think that online first live session is 26, something like that. Okay. All right. Okay. I think this is next is meta targeting itself. Okay, meta targeting itself is interesting in itself because I use Claude. I give you an example just for variety. All right. So this is another program by the same school or university. Yeah, so you give it the context, you ask it to develop a buyer persona because you know targeting you need buyer persona, and then you ask it to develop it based on Meta platform, which is Facebook ads, right? Yeah, and you need to have the name of the target audience, the rationale, and the detailed target audience settings. So this is what it produces. Okay. So a flow that is something like this, all right? So this is it good? Okay, it's not bad, all right? This has been used by my media buyer, but if you ask it, hey, does it really know all the interests that it can target and all the fields of studies and job titles, interests? The answer is no, not really, all right? But I can tell you that because of this, right, your media buyer is going to have a much better idea of what to look out for. So you know how Meta ads work, right? You type in a target, like a keyword, then you come up with choices, okay, of likely interest. So this is one possible way that you can use ChatGPT to do Meta ads targeting. It's quite interesting. Okay, you can actually come up with, this is one of the variations. I asked it to come out with 3, right? So actually you can use this for split test. Yeah. And so the media buyer still have to digest this. It's not like a blind thing. So it's to go there, oh, okay, this is what, so I know this is the rationale, this target audience, okay? And people looking for agile, then maybe it doesn't have job titles, then we will just do interest, okay, mostly, okay? It doesn't have this, but you know, at least you come out with it, you'll be a little bit, it helps to the media buyer to sort of like group their targeting properly. Sometimes it's important, right? Because they need to split test audiences, right? You cannot have like so much overlap everywhere. You know, this gives them a little bit a better frame of mind to work with.
There's one hack to that as well. So Facebook, Google, TikTok.
There's some hack to this. So the Facebook, Google, TikTok, they all have those interests hierarchies published. So if you just run a query like this, you will get about 40% of the targetings actually existing, and another will be made up by Claude or by ChatGPT. So you have to key in one by one and see whether it's actually in there or not. But if you will fit the actual hierarchy that you can download, let's say from Facebook website, or can just get it from the API, which is available, which is I think will be few thousands of interests that are currently available in there, then you can automate the whole process because it will be using those actual Facebook interests, which contributes to their grounding piece. And I think it's a really good idea is just to put the document itself, because documents with information about the website will provide lots of context for long tail targeting that you might have not even thought of. Let's say you are medical focused advertiser, but there could be certain things inside there providing some testimonials of people or reference into, let's say, wellness, well-being, healthy lifestyle type of content that is not directly related to medical, though can be a really good long-tail targeting to reach the audience that might not be directly related to your product, but actually a very hot leads, because they are the one haven't decided yet, and they are the one could be influenced by the ad. So I think grounding is very important, and sometimes there is some source of data you might thought not in there, but actually it's there in public. You just need to upload it in the system and let the system leverage on it.
Thank you. Yeah, see, we should try that, right? All right, so landing pages is another thing that I think Claude does really well in general. So I actually have so how I work with landing pages is this. I would usually just put what is the existing, because the existing one actually sucks. Okay, it's very bad. I'm going to show you a bit of it later. So this is the original landing page. So I want you to analyze for strength and weaknesses first. So usually I will not just say just write. Okay, I will feed it the existing one. I'll just say, okay, please critique it, because I do copywriting before, so I know whether it says it's good or bad, right? So you'll come up with a huge list. It's quite detailed. So it will tell you what is good, what is the strength, what is the weaknesses. All right. This is the page itself. Okay. This is the page itself. This is not part. This is the PDF content. See, Claude will actually show you the PDF content here. Okay. So which is why it's different, right? Because in ChatGPT you have to say please reproduce it. But in Claude I can actually click on the document at the side and it will show me what it is processing. Right. Okay. So this is the original landing page. This is a horrible passage for a landing page because it's so convoluted, it's hard to read. I think now even if you read it, you read one sentence, you don't feel like reading anymore, right? So I literally had to tell the client, because the client needs the landing page tomorrow, some ideas, okay? And it's like 5 p.m. tonight. So I have no choice, okay? I have to use a lot of this for help. So I actually came up, this is a Google Doc, so this is actually 90% of it is actually produced by ChatGPT. And I have the examples. And the rates are the ones, my comments, my expert comments. Okay, so that's how I sort of, so that the client knows why we are doing it. And if you have a chance to read it, you realize that actually is really well done. That means the base output of it is something that it's good enough, in my opinion, because it's not like the salesy copywriting. It's something just for clarity, right? So you will go through different things. Okay, so you'll go through things like why this course matters to you, what our graduates say, what you will learn, meet your expert or instructor, and then the course structure, and who should attend, why choose NUSISS, and how much is the investment in your future. Okay, so and the upcoming classes. So instead of just, you see the original landing page, it throws the entire classes right at the beginning and expect people to sign up. It's a very, very funny order. You get what I mean? Without introducing anything, the landing page itself has a title, and then it just throws a series of dates and then one big lump of text, and then it just gives some short pointers and expect people to sign up. Bad, right? Okay, so this is what I mean. You can do this within very fast. Okay, so that's it. That's it for the GenAI. Before I go to SoMonitor, SoMonitor will be a bit faster. So any questions so far? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Anyone? I hope you all got something out of it. Did you all get something out of it?
Can I see the ad copy that I just want to take a photograph that in the slide? So
Ah, which one?
yeah, after this.
After this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so prevent hallucination, right? Okay. All right. Okay. So how we use SoMonitor? So coming to this, right? Okay. So later on, right? I hope all of you have access to the platform because there's if not, right? If you are registered, right? You can actually access the platform later. That's why I'm going to give you time after this, right? To actually go in to play. So maybe, right? Now is a good time for you to take a 5-minute break and make sure you all have access to. Do you have access to the platform? The SoMonitor platform. There is some test data. Do you have it? Huh? Yes, yes, that's right. What does it say? Alex. Okay, wait. Let me show you. Okay. Alright, let me give you some things. So you're supposed to go to.
Your login should be your email and the password should be session, I guess, right? Session. Yeah. From the capital letters. Can you try that?
Okay, this is the landing page. This is a login page. Do you have this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So please use your email address that you register. So let me. I want to see if I can show it. Okay, give me a while. Let me go and find it.
Should be your email address and the password should be
Yeah.
session from the capital letter. It
Yeah,
should
so
work.
let me try.
And email address should be the one that received the email with credentials. Anyone still have issues?
No,
You still got issues?
Yeah, I didn't just.
You haven't received an email.
yeah, but should register on
So you registered just today?
Can you use
Just give us a second to
this is your emails? Sorry. So the password is session.
your email there.
Is it there?
If my email is not there,
Oh,
your email is not there.
yeah.
Okay, just give us a second. We'll sort that out.
Mine is an issue. Okay, just help there. So there's an email. It's the same one. That's not just one.
you want to use mine? I offer my one for access. You can type in Hendry and then session. You want to try? You want to try?
No, just use mine, right? The same. Oh yeah, it should be case sensitive, of course. It's exactly
Yeah.
the one.
So,
Does it work? Which one do you use?
Can't do it.
Okay,
So
use
this
Hendry.
one solving on the ad.
Yes, that's right.
are you able? You?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
right.
All good, I think everybody can log in.
There you go. He's also okay? Yeah, okay. Alright. Good. Are you alright? Okay, so, okay, good. I'm going to give you time to play with it, right? But I'm going to go through quickly some of the interesting things that the agency uses it for. Okay. You can access it, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, all done. Very good. Okay. So when you log in, you're going to have two accounts. Okay, one account is a PC brand. Okay, the first one that you go log in is going to see a PC brand, and it's basically 4 competitors in the Singapore space. Okay, they sell custom built PCs. Okay, Aftershock PC, and Mansa and 2 others, all right? I've selected them because they are running ads. Because I want to have actually examples that are running ads. Because the power of this platform, right, is that it can track ads. Because if it's just content, right, it's just a page content for, let's say, Meta. It's okay, it's useful, but it's not as powerful as ads. Because, you know, people running ads are spending money. So they definitely be sure that it's something that they want to make sure it has a positive ROI, all right? Okay? So this is the example of the 4. So you should see this account. Okay, so this is Aftershock PC, Dreamcore, Mensa PC, and Volta's PC. So basically, they are basically local, you know, they are fighting very hard in the local space, running a lot of ads. So if I to show you, so I give you an example, right? This is just a quick run through of how we use SoMonitor, right? You're going to have time to play around with it later. So what I do is that actually, you can look at this overview. This is ads, so it's go through the Meta ads library. So for the past 1 month, all right? So you're going to see the number of ads. You realize one thing, right? This is the number of ads that's running. This is the number of creatives. And this is the clickability score. So clickability score is a measure that is being computed. Alex can share with you more about that, right? So what you can see is this. Hey, you know, this Dreamcore, the Dreamcore brand, right, is running actually not many ads, you know. It's just 20, 30 compared to Aftershock PC, which is a very aggressive player, right? One of the earliest of the custom-built PC in Singapore. And the clickability is high. So this should trigger your interest to say, hey, you know, let me take a look at their ads. So you can use the platform and look at the ads, and it does. You can look at Dreamcore's ads. You can just select, let's say, one brand, and you can sort of go through the analysis of its content. So these are ad content, okay? So it analyzes the ad content and actually breaks it down into concepts. So for example, the concepts of perks and incentives. So basically what it does is that it will scrape through all the ads, right? And you'll break it down, you analyze each ad, break it down into different components, right? Like for example, perks and incentives, and collate all of them together. So you can sort of know that, hey, this competitor is actually offering quite a fair bit of lifetime support and services. And this doing lifetime support, quality components, up to $800 off. So you can tell both sides. So this will give you an idea, right? Hey, you know, they are running very good ads, and they are all using this as one of the perks and incentives. So something to consider for your client. So you can actually think of it that way. So you can dig around a few other concepts. This is not the only one. So you can look around a few things, and you realize that in terms of insights, right? This is basically the insights they use for their ads. This is the products. Products is quite straightforward. It's custom PCs. The audiences is actually gamers and PC builders. Okay, so they are actually targeting gamers and PC builders. So this is basically different concepts that you can actually extract out. So you can actually use this little toolbar. So it's going to have a drop down. Later you're going to find. Okay, you can go and find. And you can actually see the ads. So once you go to the ad, right, you narrow down. Let's say, for example, like after you dig around a lot more, they said, hey, Dreamcore is running this ad. Okay, this is the ad. This ad has very high clickability score, but of course it's not very confident. So usually the confidence rating, I would say you can go for something higher, but this measurement. So it said, hey, this is an interesting ad. So it seems to be performing well. So if you actually look at this particular ad, right, if you click on the ad on the platform, it's going to break it down into all these concepts, the clickability concepts, the content type, the category, the topic, audiences, customer needs, address, and the insights used. So that's how so what it's doing, right, is basically instead of, if you don't do this, what is the normal approach? Can you tell me what's the normal way you go and spy on ads? You go to Meta Ads Library, go and search for the brand, look at all the ads, and then you ding, then you try to ding, then you look at another one, then you ding, you try to maybe hopefully remember both and see, oh, okay, maybe they are like, you manage to pick up one thing and then another thing you pick another. So it's very random, all right? So this one gives you a little bit more structure, give you a little bit more bite in terms of extracting out key information. And the best thing is that it actually stores the ads. So Meta Ads Library, I don't think, when the ads stop running, right, after a while, right, the data will be lost. So this one is actually kept in the cloud itself, and you will retain it over time. I don't know how long, Alex will tell you, all right? So, okay. And so with this, what can you do? Then you tell yourself, hey, with this, right, anyone, what can you do with this? So what if you know that this ad is doing well? You okay, what to do?
Copy the targeting and copy.
Okay, yeah, you can copy it, right? So as usual, you know how you know me, right? I will actually go and throw this entire, I will screen grab this ad, I'll post it into ChatGPT, literally screen capture and Control C and Control V, just paste it inside, and I just say this is a high performing ad, alright? Can you analyze it? Tell me what's good, what's bad. So it will come out with this thing itself. It will give you a very, actually it's very well written. This is something that even my if I ask my media buyer to comment on the ad, you won't be able to come out with one. You won't be come out with this kind of very organized way of presenting it. You know what I mean? So it's able to look at the strength, and I always ask for weaknesses. I'll tell you why later. So this is the weaknesses itself on the right, on the left, sorry. Okay, potential overuse of check marks. You see here? There's a lot of I think there's a lot of check marks here. You see, right? Do you see the check marks? So it's able to visually tell you, hey, there's check marks there. So it's not amazing one. It can do visual elements. Alright? So I just use these check marks because I mentioned about these check marks because later you're going to see what ChatGPT does with it. Okay, then I say, hey, these are weaknesses, these are strengths. Please, then I don't just ask you to do a copy, right? I will take, let's say I represent Aftershock. Aftershock is my client, or I work in Aftershock. I will actually take my best, this is the best model. This is the model I think I'm going to launch. Okay, I'm going to use for this campaign. I actually, once again, I took the entire specs from the website, screen PDF it, and said, oh, please read and digest this content. Okay, it showcases our top-of-the-line PC Call Explorer. Then once again, I go through the model, right? Context, do the next task based on this. Write an ad copy for Facebook based on what you know about Explorer PC. See, context again. You don't want hallucination. You don't want imagine any PC. You follow the strength of the dream core ad. Please make sure to address the weaknesses. You should also include 3 headlines that's based on the strength. Okay, the requirement is to be well formatted, include emojis or symbols wherever needed. You can include a detailed write-up of why your ad should outperform. So I say, you tell me, you justify why it should be better, in case I need to justify to the client, in some sense. So your response should be shown in this manner. And that's it. Then, so this is the headlines. This is the ad copy. Okay, I don't know whether you like rainbows, this kind of symbols, but I'm just saying that, you see, it purposely didn't want to put the check marks. What I'm trying to say is that it is able to do these kind of things so that it doesn't step on your toe. It's a very good person. Okay, so I want to tell you. So it gave something nice, top tier power, the hand. Okay, and then.
Two questions. One is how would it build up on previous ads? So here would be saying we are giving him the competition ad and saying do better on that.
Yeah.
But suppose you have released 3 ads earlier. You want to force that to build on that. One. Second, to his point, that how will it capture the brand tone? because we are just putting a competition ad and saying make it better.
Yeah.
But there's a brand voice, tone,
Yes,
the way
yes.
it talks to the
Yeah,
customer.
very good question. All right. So that's why it depends. For a brand like this, maybe they don't really have a brand tone. They are, you know, these type of brands, right, in Singapore, they are very, I call it like e-commerce brands, very bottom of the funnel. They just want to get the sale. They just want to get the thing. So they realize most of it, right, they follow a certain tonality because they just want people to, you know, in fact, it's a very good practice for e-commerce ads to be very direct but creative, but yet very direct and short. It's very different from writing copies for, let's say, a service, you know. For product, right, usually you want it to be very, very emotive, with very little text, all right? That's my experience, okay? So, but to answer your question, that's how it is. Of course, if you want to, you should ground it with some kind of brand voice, or you should just specify it. You're right. I mean, you can ground it against either through an example or by writing down the rules that the client say you must do this. Or you can even do something crazy like, you know, some brands have brand Bible, right? You can try upload it, like try throwing it up there, and then say based on the brand Bible, you're not supposed to, you know, you should follow the guidelines in the brand Bible according for ad copywriting, and then you give the product and you ask it to write the ad, and the competitor ad they want to emulate. So you can do all these things. All right. It takes a bit of effort, which I'll talk about later, But
The brand Bible will go onto the internet, so competition can create the brand Bible.
yeah, which is why in the ChatGPT you have to make sure it doesn't use it to train the data. You need to set it right. I don't know about Claude though. Claude doesn't have, I don't remember it having that feature, but maybe it has. But just to be careful. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Yeah, but actually sometimes the brand Bible, most of the brands, at least the ones that some of them are public domain, they actually put it inside their website because they want all the vendors to follow. Depends. But of course, in your case, it could be different because big brands, right, actually have very strict rules, right? But these are small brands, more flexible, for lack of a better word. Are you okay? All right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just now, how do you, I mean, in terms of the flow just now, so first thing is you're trying to analyze the top one basically ads in the market. So what is then what kind of like the content that you're transferring to making the own advertisements, including the videos as well?
Yeah, what, including the what?
The videos, because we saw the video here and the.
Oh, okay. So we don't. Okay, so I didn't ask it to do the visuals itself. I'm only focusing on the ad copy. So for this case, right? So this is SoMonitor, right? High performing ad. Analyze the ad, break down, make sure you agree with it. Okay. It's a bit like checking your intern's work, don't you think so? It's like you do some work for me. I need to check your output. Then based on your output, please follow this and then do it. Isn't it so? So, but I can tell you very few interns can do this. Sad. But anyway, so you.
There's two hacks. Just want to suggest.
So first thing is, actually, I did ask Sam Altman himself a year ago whether they are using it for training, and he said, we told you many times that ChatGPT is not using your data for training. So at least that is the official position, right? They're not supposed to. Yeah, that's what he mentioned a few times. And the second thing is, it's very useful sometimes to ask LLM to explain how it's used the grounding data in its output. So let's say you've got a brand Bible and you have uploaded it as a separate document, then you put it in a prompt. Whatever you output, reference it to a particular line of the brand Bible I have provided to you, and if it's cannot be supported, then remove it from your output. And then you will see a miracle. It will actually be removing some of them, sometimes even saying sorry, I didn't mean it, and then the rest will be grounded by a particular line, so you actually can reference to the document, and much easier to confirm whether you're actually following that or not.
Yeah, so you can actually do Yeah, it's a very good point. So I do that also, although I don't show it here. So sometimes you can say, hey, you want to justify, make sure you tell me where is it that you are using it. And I like references. I hate it when they throw me data without references. I will actually, can you give me the references, the URL, and then I'll go and check the URL as well. So you do have to do some due diligence, you know. But the truth is that it's a lot faster than you do it yourself. Okay, I hope this is interesting. Yeah, I hope this is interesting for you to consider that you can. And I think one of the biggest things that a lot of this is because they start processing images and they can read the text. So I can hallucinate a lot of use cases out of this thing itself. Can you imagine? So you can throw in anything. You can do quite the image processing. I think ability is quite fancy, I must say. I'm quite astounded myself by the way it processes visuals. That means text itself, like just now, right? You can even see the check mark. The check mark is just a check mark, you know. You're just basically putting it an image. So basically, in terms of image, it's just bits 1010. You know? So it's able to pick up that it's a check mark. It's able to not repeat it as a check mark in your ad copy. So it's this kind of things that is going on. I know it sounds scary, you know. The world has become a lot more exciting because of this. Okay, so of course, I sometimes will be naughty and ask you to please give me some visuals. Of course, usually the visuals generation part is still not that swell. It will give you something weird. The words will be a bit off, and humans are terrible still. So, but I use it for just a concept. I told my media buyers, you want to do you can prompt a concept, but please explain it to the visual designer. We still have designers, right? So it's useful for them to sort of like, maybe, oh, this is a concept I like. Then at least they can feed it. In the past, there's no such thing, right? They have to describe using words. There's no way to, unless they go to the internet to find packs. They go to the internet and screen grab some, oh, you know, I want it to look something like that. Okay, so this is it.
So can it read the visual? So if there's a visual, can it explain in textual terms that, okay, this is what the visual is about?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can. So, which is why, I mean, I think you throw in your router, I think you'll be able to explain it. your equipment that you sell, your rack, maybe it'll tell you something about it. Okay. Okay, the other thing is that it can actually use, there is a tool inside, there's a feature inside the platform that they call it SODA. So basically it's analysis, so it's able to give you a summary of what content analysis. So basically it's going to do a content analysis and do somewhat a report, okay? I should have put an example here, I did not, my bad, all right? So we can use it as a pitch. As for example, for us, we use it for, let's say, we want to be more impressive in the pitching circumstance. You need to do a proposal, right? So what we do a proposal is that we would ask SODA to actually summarize what did they do for the ads between two different brands, and then from then you can actually use it as an angle, or say, hey, you know, your competitor is doing this, is doing that. I think you should really do this and do that. So it actually does, it doesn't do the recommendation part, but it tells you this competitor focuses on this persona, this competitor focuses on another persona. Yeah? And as usual, you know the lazy me. So I will use GenAI do its work. I will actually throw in the analysis. So this is from SoMonitor. This file here is actually from SoMonitor. It's actually a screen grab again. So I say, hey, the attached PDF show the content analysis based on the social media monitoring tool for 4 brands. The period is for the past 30 days, right? So please analyze the report carefully and provide a strategic content strategy for young, hungry, and free. So this is the e-commerce brand. The other one, the clothing brand. And help it stand out from the other 3 competitors in the same fashion industry in Singapore. So your strategy report should be based on statistics shown in the PDF report, okay, and proven practices in the market. If you have statistics, please include it in the report and state the reference. Okay, please restate reference. You see, I'm always very inner about this. your report should be highly actionable and based on what you know about the Singapore fashion scene. Justify the recommendation clearly and in detail wherever possible. So I actually have the result of this, so let me see if I can just click on here. Alright, so you see this, sorry. Okay. So this is actually the one. Okay, this is the I actually have it inside inside the document that is you already have access to. So you can click on the link, you can see the actual prompt, the content. It's also you produce a content strategy with actionable steps. Okay, I wouldn't bore you. It will tell you to use certain like hashtag. Okay, and it will tell you certain things like improve your engagement, interactive contents with some actionable steps. Okay, and maybe you can want to talk a little bit about sustainability and ethical fashion. Yeah, I mean, it's something that said, okay. So this is an example, right? You can ask it to do some high-level, top-level strategy, and then you can actually use the tool itself, generate the report. The report doesn't tell you so much what to do. So as usual, just throw it into Claude, ChatGPT, whatever tool that you fancy. Yeah.
I ended up becoming one of the most active participants of this. I haven't seen it before, yeah. So this is amazing. But I just got some questions. So you've got this strategy, right, that you're showing. For you as an agency, to which extent you can be using it? How much time you're gonna spend to improve it? How far away the strategy from what you'd be actually proposing the client eventually, or I don't know if you're a brand using it for yourself.
So I mean,
So in the past, right, you see, to do something like that, you know what's involved? I actually have to go to ask let's say I want to ask my social content person, right, my team, and say, hey, I have a pitch, I have this lead, wants to, do better, socially, but he doesn't know how, right? So you know what's my team is going to do? It's going to be 2 or 3 people, go around one, so it's great, look at all the competitor, look at all the content, and then slowly try to use their own brain, right? Try to remember, okay? And maybe pick up one interesting things out of the many and to say, yeah? But it's not rigorous, right? But it's just based on experience. I just say, I pick up this, pick up that. I'm going to use my experience. I'm going to come up with probably some of this strategy, right? And then I'm going to, but they won't even write as well, I tell you this, because my strategy is actually also based in the Philippines. So they are going to spend about 2-3 days to come up with something, even at least a framework for me to talk about. Yeah? And this is done at least the first cut. Okay, I'm not saying that this is the thing is going to win your pitches. Okay? But I'm going to tell you that it's jolly well good enough for you to elaborate on it. And if your content person is even anyone that has experience, should be able to make do a lot of great good things out of it. Yeah. There's a lot of other things that's interesting. There's another thing that I think you can do for prompting. Do you know that you can actually ask ChatGPT to tell you how to prompt? You can say, what would you need? What information do you need if I were to ask you how to do this? Then you come up with a prompt for you. You can ask it to design the prompt for you, then for you to prompt it back to him. You get what I mean? So you're actually asking the person, please give me something that will help you. Then I feed the thing and say, please do this. So, which makes things very interesting because over time, let me go back to this, all right, to end off lah. It's getting late, all right, we're coming to 2 hours. Let me go, yeah. Okay, I'm going to let you play. So, but before I let you play, I just want to give you like, have a little bit of brainstorming. What do you think is next? Yeah. So this is what next for me. So my question is always this, right? If I have someone, right, one person, right, with some basic digital marketing experience and skill, right? Just imagine me like 8 years ago, maybe I have 2 years experience or 1 year. Can I have enough prompts, right, and enough structure, right, to make the person very effective? Yeah, so it is much, actually to me, right, the answer is probably yes, because I'm working on it. So, what's my biggest pain point now? Because I hire media buyers to buy ads, but media buyers, right, are actually supposed to be very smart people. They need to know copywriting, they need to know visuals, they need to know targeting, they need to know the platform. It's very hard to find good people in media buy. Because I started from media buy myself. I know what's needed. I had to learn copywriting, I learned everything, So nowadays, a lot of people I see, they say, oh, I can do this, I can do that. But actually, most of them are just running ad accounts, let's say Google Ads account of a big budget, 20,000. You know what they do? They just wait for the copy from their teammate and their visual and say, load and run. Literally, that's it. Actually, they are really just buying media. They don't really act like a digital marketer, like a media buyer that I expect. Which is why I'm always into this ad copies and ad targeting, because I'm trying to level the playing field. I'm trying to make it so that the new media buyer, I don't, whatever you do in the past, I don't matter. But if you want to develop your ad copy properly, you need to follow this step, you need to ground it, you need to do this. I can tell you a lot of them don't even ground their data. They just, I'm lazy. I just look at the client, read a few 1-2 pages and then come out with a copy. So I'm trying to give a bit more rigor to this. I'm trying to, in some sense, not say replace my media buyers. I'm trying to make the skill level a lot less jarring, okay? And of course, this one I haven't talked to, I think Alex doesn't know, but I'm thinking about AI agents for something, for workflow, yeah? I think, some of you heard about AI agents? Any of you heard of AI agents? We say AI agents, just imagine it's a person that can automatically do things at the right time. So imagine ChatGPT as a person that is there. So maybe based on some inputs, something happening in your ad campaign, right? It's going to do something. It triggers a series of action to tell you something. So that's the easiest way to explain it. So it's like, think of it like having a living person, but just running a computer program that runs continuously, like with sensors. That's it. So it's quite interesting. Some of the interesting things that can happen. Yeah. What do you think? Any thoughts? Are you all more fearful or hopeful? Okay, that's all. Okay, so I will leave you to play around your platform, and if you want to have something for your competitors, please be nice to Alex, talk to him and say, Alex, can I have a trial? I have these few competitors, I want to monitor. I'm sure he'll be happy to oblige you.
Got a question? No? Yeah, guys, so the platform that you receive, they are yours, right? You can play with it. I think it's set up for 2 weeks or something like this. So just feel free to use. And if you want to put somebody you're working with, actually, your clients or your own company, you can put it in as well. Just need to drop a message either back to Hendry or in a group. Did you join a group? Did you join the WhatsApp group? Yeah, so you can do that. You can ask us, or you can just reply the email that was sending you the scheduler for this session. You want to show any part?
No, that's all. Okay, I think that's all.
Yeah. So
this is the platform to show it all.
yeah, so the platform has a few models inside there, right? The one that Henry was showing to you is called Brand Tracker. This is a little bit like social listening. It helps you to see what's going on.
Yeah, this brand, I have one BC, the other one is fast fashion. Okay, no, that's all. I don't say it anymore.
yeah, I just want some variety. So in case some of you are, I don't want to be too male centric, so ladies here. So fast fashion. So I'll take a look at fast fashion. Quite interesting. Totally different. You will get totally different ideas out of it because the way they run ads is quite different as well. And you see which brands are using influencers, which brands are not using influencers, quite clearly. Yeah.
Just a quick walkthrough. So you can see here, for example, you have social pages, you have ad libraries. Ad libraries is where you're seeing the ads, right? Social pages is the organic content. These brands you also can choose any because they are something that you put inside the platform when you set it up, and then you can choose the dates. So actually continuously monitor it. You will see every time the new content pops up. So in this dashboard, it's more like about activities that is happening there. So you can see the engagements and activity scores, all those things that you would see in social listening. But as Hendry mentioned earlier, I think what GenAI is doing here, like the main job of GenAI is the ability to analyze each of these content pieces. So you can see this, the concepts, the pillars that break it down into topics, customer needs, audiences. And why is it important? Because instead of doing it manually and scrolling the stuff, you can actually automatically understand all the key things that you care when it comes to your communication strategy, content creation, content production, or whatever your agency is dealing with. Anyone from a creative agency here, actually, or every, yeah. So are you a planner? Are you working with the planners?
No.
No. So creative agencies, sometimes they have people particularly in charge of digging the data, and we found very interesting statistics. The creative agencies, they spend a lot of time not in this dashboard, but in this content library dashboard. And what they're doing is they're effectively looking at, okay, what kind of audiences I'm focused on. For example, gamers, right? And tech enthusiasts, and maybe PC builders. So gamers obviously is different from tech enthusiasts. The first folks may be very focused on, I don't know, training their own next generation of AI. Gamers are very interested in games. So instead of browsing the content of all these folks, you could actually say that, oh, I want to particularly look at the content that was targeting at, let's say, gamers or PC gamers. And then it will subselect all the content particularly related to PC gamers instead of you are like just trying to scroll. So it's already focused on particular product line. Then you look, okay, so now we talk about gamers, but what kind of, say, customer needs that they're addressing? And empowerment, security, knowledge, comfort, and you're getting curious, okay, so what's the pillar of, let's say, customer need of, I don't know, comfort for the gamers? You put that in, and then you will see, okay, so actually there's only two brands are pushing for comfort, which is one is Aftershok's PC, another one is Mindset PC. And they're pretty much sharing this particular niche of audience evenly, and then they were running two contents, and one of them will got a bit better engagement than another one. And then you say, okay, so how about the ads? Are they addressing the same content in ads? And you will say, oh, this is just Aftershock was running an ad about this, and then you, okay, how well that ad was performing. And you can further see what was inside the ad. You can see that most likely it was performing okay, not that good, because the model was predicting that it was just okay ad. But you can also see what is inside that ad. It was a special serious part of the ad that people were looking at, right? So this is like the focus. So you can derive from there that probably this is what you want to put in your own copy, in your own creative to make it work. Then finally, you can just go to Soda and generate the report that will be providing you all the list of the things that eventually you could use to come up with your strategy. Yep.
I noticed that your social pages currently are only scanning in Facebook and Instagram, so no TikTok?
TikTok is in there as well, it's just not released in this demo platform.
So it's also scanning
TikTok and Google as well, Google Search, Google Play, YouTube. Yeah, we understand that communications in different channels are very different. And when it comes to social, that's definitely would be TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. When it comes, and for B2B, it'll be in LinkedIn, right? So we actually put in these sources one by one. But even if you don't have all the channels, it's already quite deep in understanding what people are talking inside the channels that are in the platform. So you can already build a better strategy by just using it and digging it deeply. So very interesting, it's two communities. The media agency and 360 agencies like Hendry, very focused on making an ad work, making a strategy, pushing, testing, and creative agencies. Creative agency just spend, I don't know, 300 logins a month to trying to understand, okay, what kind of angle should I take to make a proposal, a pitch that will be just amazing, that nobody ever could conquer and compete with. So it's a different approach, and we think that these two communities are actually merging back together. There was some point in time when they split. I see now with AI, they are start merging back together, because obviously it's not just about this like funny memo, right, in media buying. So if ad doesn't work, then you change creative.
Getting a little joke. One of my clients is SMU, so we are doing a lot of creatives. So just 2 weeks ago, because we are going to be doing performance ads, right? Then this lady came out and a message, email us saying, "Hey, Hendry, I think you all are a creative agency, So they asked me whether do we actually do media buy, but actually buying ads is our core. But because we are doing so much creative work for them, right? They thought that we are actually a creative agency. It's a little bit of a joke. Really, it was a little bit of an inside joke for us.
And the bigger agencies are, the more problems they have actually mixing these two things together. When your task is just buying media, then whatever insights you will give the client's creative agency might not end up actually applying because they have their own pipeline and vice versa. So we think that this kind of products, they can actually bring communities together to make more meaningful work. And yeah, and then eventually get media agencies that clients think they're creative agencies and vice versa. So creative agencies now buying performance ads so well so that people don't need to find a media agency anymore, right? That's how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, and for all of you, it's good. And for all,
I guess for all the individual brands, right, which some of you are, right, that's going to be a very great help for you, because you're going to be able to, do a lot of things. You're going to have a lot more empowerment to do things yourself. And that's amazing.
So all these details are detected from scanning the social media platforms. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the performance campaigns that were run before, like for example, this company, their second business is running performance ads, and they have a platform that continuously A/B tests tons of ads, like millions of dollars every month, right? So they have so much performance data that they can literally predict which creative gonna work and which not gonna work before that creative will go live. Then you can A/B test it actually.
I see. So you're also running ads for Aftershock and Unicorn, etc.?
No, I'm not. This is the test account.
We're not running ads for them, but we can predict pretty accurately what's gonna work.
This particular account was created just for the session.
Oh,
I have my agency one. My agency one have all the interesting accounts.
Sorry, I have I think it's 3 questions here. The first one actually regarding this clickability and the confidence. This is based on your own algorithm, right?
Yeah, this is not LLMs, but we tested it. I think it does like 14% better than the latest Gemini. So if you ask Gemini to predict which creative gonna work, which not, and you ground it a little bit, then it will be 14% worse than micro model that is trained particularly just for creative scoring at the moment, right? So this is what we published recently.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So the second thing is actually regarding the flow. Just now trying to understand is basically for all the competitors here is it will be automatically analyzed. So regarding, because as a brand, I have my own brand. Basically, I want to use basically what the competitors, what theirs the good videos or kind of ads basically I can refer to. So if I run, so what is input? Eventually, I will put into GTP to help us to help me to do that.
Yeah, so that's not exactly GPT. It's you set up the lists of competitors' URLs. Each competitor URL actually linked to an ad library to their social page, and the platform collects their data, the public data, then feed it through the model that predicts the clickability, feed it through large language models to define all the pillars, which is whatever, customer need, persona, attention. Then it's accumulated all in the report to show you, okay, that's what's going on in the industry at the moment. This is what kind of products everyone focuses, what works, what doesn't work, what drives engagement, this what drives clickability. And then you can use it for your strategy. And then you can take that and put it further into, let's say, Gemini or into ChatGPT and say, okay, so this is what I got from the system. How do I come up with something similar, but according to my brand Bible, and also I want it to be grounded, and I don't know, and I want it to be also very well used in my trade show that I'm gonna print posters for next month. Then it will start coming up with new content generation piece.
Oh, okay, I see. So basically it's gonna be this SODA report, right?
SODA report, and there is another thing that we call, it's not there yet, but it's called perspectives. So there will be a report form with the whole strategy generated by the platform itself. So it looks like this.
Basically, he's saying that there's things under development.
Okay, so it's
secret functions.
yeah, because I think within the SODA report is a lot of the contents there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So you know one of the most important skills, right, when you need to AI, right? You know, the people that you hire or work with, is the person must be a bit flexible in their thinking. I don't know how you have to find people who are very exploratory and flexible. It's a very important skill set. Because you see, you need to make ChatGPT this. You need to have that thinking that, yeah, I'm going to take this output, throw it there, then we're going to take it there. So people are going to be very smart. Okay, this kind.
Here my another.
Yeah.
How do you identify what are considered as competitors? For example, so all these like lists of companies here, how do you identify them?
Okay, this one, there's no like tool, but if you ask me as an agency, use the mic.
Usually, okay, I can speak from an agency perspective, right? There are only two ways. One is you do your research, the other one you ask your client. Very simple. Because any client, right, worth their salt will know their competitors. If they don't know, they are in trouble. Or at least they need to know who is in the same space, right? Right. So usually the clients will give some very good examples, and no, it's not auto. I think it needs to be set up, right?
Yeah. So that's why if you want to analyze your own, just come back to us, and we will set up your account into your competitors that you want to analyze. So this is Multi-Care, for example.
Yeah.
Right?
So the special offer here is that any of you just be nice to Alex. Don't need to be nice to me after this. Just be nice to him and ask nicely. Hey, you know, I need to have these few competitors, these URLs. Then you put the deal process now. Then you can have fun.
Look at this. It's quite being nice to me is always a good idea. I support that. But just look at this, yeah? So this is Multi-Care, right? They have lots of that. Pupsik, Park for Mommy's Market, Motherwork, Multi-Care, Kiddy. So what the Multi-Care is hunting? They're hunting expected mothers or the first quarter after they give birth, till they understand that there's Taobao where they can get the same thing much cheaper. That is the time when they want those mothers to shop in Multi-Care. So I think LLMs actually can break down the communications into different measures of different types of mothers, right? So for example, mothers of preschoolers, expectant mothers, mothers of toddlers, mothers of infants, new mothers. So new mothers, mothers of infants is important, expectant mothers is important. This is a target category. And you can just select those and do your comms analysis based on, for example, new mothers or expectant mothers. Then you can see what is the share of all these companies within that category. You can see, for example, that Mommy's Market is targeting 25%. 25% of all ad content in Singapore targeting new mothers. Actually, Mommy's Market are much bigger than everyone else. Babyland is another big one, and some of them are really scratching the surface, like Kitty Place, for example, and all this. Yeah. So then, who are those personas these brands are talking to? Actually, you can see that there's Family Center, Saving Seeker, and Mommy's Market is very big. Mommy's Market is very much on saving cheaper, right? They really occupy the space. They also do quite well in family-centric baby shopper. But for example, there's few more that others address: holistic wellness advocate, wellness seeker, happiness seeker. Then mommy's market is not there at all. So it could be an opportunity for other brands to come in instead of competing with mommy's market, for example, for savings seeker, whereas they clearly spend much more budget. They're clearly dominating the space, right? Then you can also generate the actual descriptions of this persona, what this persona means, and how many media is in their supporters. So 131 content was posted for families, center saving seeker. Then you can look at that from their personas in the posts as well, right? For example, organic content, and you will see that it's actually very different. When it comes to organic, everyone talking about wellness. And mommy's market, again, doing a very good job, but they are comparable, for example, to Babyland. And they also compare it to Mother Care. Mother Care doing organically pretty well. When it comes to their paid, they're just so small. And honestly, if you are occupying such a small niche compared to mommy's market and you're spending significant budgets to that, it might not be really very efficient because you're still not doing big enough. But when it comes to organic, the wellness niche that they are doing pretty well as compared to others. So it means what? From here you already can see that when it comes to mother and baby shopping in Singapore, on paid you talk about savings. To the end, you got something new in your life that takes your budget for giving a birth, for clothes, for feeding, for infant care and all these things. You're thinking about savings, so for you to make a decision, a final decision, you will be, just taking something that is more affordable for you. But when it comes to organic, to warm you up, to bring you from top to down in a funnel, you'll be talking about wellness. And how would you expect your junior people in agency, to come up with all this, to bring this analysis to you and to build the structure? Very hard. So we like to see these products also as a way to educate the community and empower marketers. Because if you see these things very well breaking down for you, you actually can come up with, okay, so this is, I knew this. I knew that in organic, I'm actually occupying a good position, so my social department doing well. But when it comes to paid media, I know that I should actually maybe go for another segment, another persona, another attention. And I should put all my budgets there because I just cannot compete with my budget and my effort in their very overhit savings type of positioning. And this is what Mother Care CMO takes and bring it to the CEO, and that's how the whole strategy is changing. Which is the case because they're our clients, so actually I see what's happening in there. So now, how to be an agency that facilitates that, so that the client will never leave you because you are the one empowering them, so they will think maybe you're a creative agency when you're a media buying agency, and vice versa.
When I show my clients things, because the client accounts all belong to me, so when I go through them, they're like, quite interesting.
So your business model is you pay a monthly subscription to...
Oh yeah, this is just a subscription software, yeah.
So you have different tiers, like how many reports you can generate a month, or is that...
No, there's some dashboards, and then the reports are generated on demand. You can just click a few buttons. I want to see personas, I want to see tensions. Then you can copy and paste that into your reports.
Okay, so you only have one membership type, is it? Or like one...
No, we have different. We have for agencies, we have for brands. Agencies pay us a bit more, but they can handle more clients. Brands are paying us for one, but they are deeper in that particular brand.
So suppose we create an ad using this, can we ask the model this thing that what do you think would be the clickability score of this particular ad?
Yeah. You can put your ad even before you run it, and you can get a clickability score, or you can look at competitors' ads and predict how well the ads are performing. And then you see which one are working the best. You pick those up, put it in ChatGPT, and say, I want something like this, but for me. How would that look like? So then you can ask, and also explain it why it is like that, not just making it up, right? Then you will be doing the grounding. In fact, those features will be a part of the platform as well after maybe a few months. Yeah. But this is, that's amazing. Our partners are building this product with us. And this is really cool. Every time I come for this, that there's new use cases, and it's just such a useful thing. And then we put that as a feature next time for you to use already. Use a mic.
I don't have
Our partners just don't like to use mic. Other than that, everything.
it's okay, it's okay. No, I mean, the better thing is for me that if the platform itself, just talking about future planning, right, that it can actually generate the copy for you and generate things that, based on whatever you chose, generate a copy and maybe visual ideas. I don't see that kind of abilities. It takes will probably take a bit more time to develop. To do a creative that is people don't think that it's AI, it will take a while. But at least the copy side, right? To be able to, of course, I told Alex before, my dream is this. I do this, I need a tool that I can actually not just create a copy, also generate a visual with the targeting, load it on Meta automatically, and then just let me check before running it. So I don't have to do all these things that my media buyer don't have to do all these things automated, that kind of things. I'm thinking of this kind of ideas more than anything else. It is possible. It's just when, okay? It really is when.
End of the year.
It really is. No, the question is really when, I mean, when you approach this AI thing, right, although people think that the hype is a bit, nowadays the stock went down, people say, NVIDIA is over, but I can tell you this, yes, usually there's a hype cycle, if you study market economics, there's always hype cycle, right? Then you become this disillusionment, and then people will be like, oh yeah, actually it's not as
People were taking ChatGPT, they were prompting and see it's such amazing thing that they start putting it to all the employees, and employees start prompting and it doesn't work. And then they say, no, it just doesn't work at all. Then eventually people created directories of prompts. They start doing these things in an educated manner, and apparently it works so well that client doesn't even notice that.
I used it, I tell you, I sent the thing over, it's got approved, no corrections. From a very strict client.
You know what is funny? That website that you show for their university, it has a lot of this expansion of the abbreviations, and this is actually a clear sign of LLMs. When they put an abbreviation, then expand, abbreviation, and expand. So I think that website actually have ChatGPT. It is actually ChatGPT generated as well. It's just they didn't put an effort to ground it and do it properly. To me, it's just such a cruel example that they also using it, just not in the right way.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, but anyway, I hope the end of today you all see a very interesting future. I don't know about bright, but definitely a very interesting future for LLMs and GenAI. It's still scraping the surface. There is, every day there's new tools being developed. There are AI agents now. They're talking about all these things. It's quite crazy. But the important thing is that don't worry about the crazy. Think about what you can do now. What am I using? I'm actually using it because I really want to do something that I can produce for a client. That's it. Very simple, very down to earth thing. And it can actually do a pretty good job. So I hope that, the objective of this session is to sort of let you dream a little bit, let you think a little bit and say, wow, it's interesting. You can really do quite a fair bit of things that is quite unthinkable, even for a staff that you hire. It's going to be a lot slower.
So, and the final thing is this. I was thinking, shall I tell them? Okay.
Yeah,
in 1 or 2 months, Neo will be spinning off a course to just train all the agency and marketing folks to use GenAI, so that you can just bring them all. They get all trained and you get
working very hard with
everything together. Yeah, but that's just a teaser for you, right? We haven't released it yet. Stay tuned in the group and come for Mondays, Marketing Mondays we organize here every month, and just ask us every time, is it ready? Is it ready? If you like it, then actually it will be very, very soon, I think.
Yeah, I always tell him that I'm disrupting myself. But I'm training all the competitors. I'm trying to even the playing field for everyone. Everyone. So if that can work, that would be great.
Right, guys.
Thank you.
Get into the group. You can ask me nicely or even not nicely. Yeah, I'm very curious how you'll be using it, and give me your use cases. Just drop me a WhatsApp. And,
just drop me a WhatsApp or just say, I need.
Or respond to email inside there. inside their models. And
okay, you're
advising,
a very special branch, you'll get it. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Have a very
the
good day.
rest of Singapore did not get it, okay?
All right, thank you. Thanks, Henry.
Sorry, keep you all away from the dinner.
No worries. On time. Start at 5:15, end at 7:15. On time.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for the session. Thanks for the session.
Thanks for coming.
Nice to meet you. I really guys are always see the person.
Oh, it's always good. It's always good.
Thank you for coming down.
Monday is the pizza.
Oh, okay.
This one is focus on only coffee. So stay away. Monday sells my pizza if you want.
To get back to do this together. So that's why I'm pitching as well to try to get projects. Nice to meet you. Yeah, maybe I can one from and then can read out how we can all put together and group together. You generate. You know, I grew up in analog world. A lot of advertising.
Oh, thank you.
It's very, very difficult. Only one that I think.
The one that does forms analysis. Everybody doing
So anyway, but I have a lot of ideas. I'm a person who can change anytime I can do something very different from the world.
Everybody generates, which we take a different approach to generate based on the really good data that we can infer from the data that we have.
Where do you develop it? Which part of the methodology?
Where did you develop?
This is one question.
Where you're developing the and how do you charge after this, after the initial process has happened?
So we keep this conversation. My name is Charles Chan. I mean, what's the name?
Yeah.
We gather it for.
We can talk. We can talk. Then we can
Okay, so per user per month sort of.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Later we will move to per user when we will have we can log one time then get a description.
going to our field informatics.
Нашел, да, как я знаю, показали, как там рычаг.
Да, там рычаг сбоку. Да. И что, просто конец их ставить?
Их надо выставить. Вот, да, вот сюда. Правильно.
У меня, короче, час 45 записалось, так что почти все.
После
а потом
этого
место
что?
закончилось. Ну, место закончилось.